his individual, his flicks potentially, smoke shot, smoke cross, and Fallen mollied out of the bomb site. His teammates dropping smokes to give him a bit of room, and he's got a minute on the clock. Fnatic going to get this quick plant. Roland's here to cut rotates, and he dances away from death, dodging Grim up on catwalk. They're still going to try and find him on this late lurk. Grim's been tagged by an AWP. Liquid very quick. The bomb's not even down yet, and they are fighting for the site. Is this a save again?
Yeah, it feels like it, right? You you threw bodies at the problem right away.
Or maybe you realize, okay, this bomb's not down. Have they left it in spawn? Or it's still not down? Really taking its time. And now Liquid are definitely committed. Look at the damage again, right? Orb tags, dinks, spam, shots. None of them matter.
Yeah, you at least get away with these 3 players. You could try to cobble a buy around this, and you know, considering you still feel the lead, you might be tempted to do so, but you're not going to get to reap any kind of reward on the back of it, right? You're not like breaking Fnatic's money on the back of a victory. You might just sit this next round out and look to establish yourself as fast as you can. The reason I say you could be tempted is that Grim can drop an M4 into play. You would have 4 rifles. You'd be running like 1 SMG, 1 Deagle, something like that. And so they're even going to supplement this with a little tac pause, try and figure out exactly how they want to approach this. You know, honestly, having like the 3 weapons could be enough in and of itself, especially if you're able to get someone like Fallen stuck in with that AWP, but he's not going to have armor to go behind it. So that part might tempt you for an investment here. Still, Fnatic, they win that Mezzy D ground. Now they follow up. They're starting to plant their feet firmly here in Dust 2 and establish themselves over on this T side. Liquid know better than anyone when it comes to these Dust 2 matches. You're never out of the woods. You're never quite there until it's actually over, and you can't get ahead of yourself. They will elect to go for the 4 spy. We got Famises around the saved guns, and so they're still in with a chance here.
Heavy long take for Liquid, but Fnatic go elsewhere to cat play. Mid to be smoke. Double down. In fact, they've even got the one to stop the jump up. So he's stuck in middle on an island, and he's dead immediately. Elise swings the smoke, but it's traded by Alex. Fallen now alone at B. He found one in middle to start, but that is, again, is not convinced Fnatic. They know Fallen's here. They don't want to try fight him, and they don't have the util to get through. So back they go into A, where 2 CT still sit.
Grim in his sight often good in these anchor positions where he needs to get value. The flash from Naf sets him up brilliantly, and he knocks them down. Chiquinho 1-on-3, and he's nailed the opener. Oh, and the follow-up to Nafly. He's trying to show us what he's got. Chiquinho now just Fallen left to beat.
The anti-clutcher, you called him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to live up to that now more than ever. He's been so good at stopping clutches, has Fallen. He's been equally good at winning them. Chiquinho, Fallen stole a lot of your limelight back on that previous map, and he's going to do it again, blindsiding him from short. Chiquinho trying to move there to go play around this is in their tracks. Oh. And that's something that this Team Liquid squad desperately need.
Yes, absolutely. Don't want to drop these high-stakes scenarios. Fallen keeps this game going, keeps it in the favor of Liquid. That would have been around to lock in, you know, a comeback for Fnatic to equal things up. Liquid barely scraped by on the economy. Nice shots out of Chiquinho at least. However, they mean nothing in the grand scheme as Liquid continue to keep the pressure on. 13-10, 3 away now. Baby steps.
Chiquinho was trying to clutch that with Fallen's AWP as well, but it's like, you know, Thor's hammer, mate. Fallen finds a way to get it back in hand at the end of the day. And now another little timeout. You know, even though Liquid win that, they know that they're splitting some very fine hairs. It was some very small margins.
Yeah. This is the true test of Alex as well in the leading role for Fnatic, right? He's often been the guy leading from the front. Even in this map, he's 5-4 in opening duels. That's 9 taken. That's the most in the server right now. This guy is so keen, you know, getting involved and setting his team up for success. So he's still positive in that regard. He's still second on the team in kills. And so Alex, the call is really the saving grace right now for Fnatic. He's got a fast smoke over the top. Landing on the long corner, Fnatic taking it quick. Liquid have been taking long with 3 in a lot of these rounds. This one is an exception. It's early in the round 2. They're going to have Molotovs to stop Fallen. Even with the smoke, they've got nades and they've got time to waste. Fallen needs these cross shots. He sees Chiquino and he still flicks back. Oh my goodness, Alex is gone. Opening duel lost. Fallen trying to get out of dodge and he's got Grim to help him.
Yo, yeah, the volley of flashes and smokes has kept Fallen alive, and he's peeking around them, trying to use these smokes that were originally to save lives. Well, now he's looking to take them on the back of it. Chiquino's tagged up, Liege back in the site, and while this is all happening, Crims is trying to work some mid control, trying to come in on a bit of a backstab to put some pressure onto Team Liquid. Now that bomb can leave long. Chiquino not so lucky as far as he's concerned, right?
This info.
But Team Liquid are rapidly spreading out. They're no longer focusing on long. Instead, they're hunting down this lurk. And now that you've lost Crims, you don't really have any options but to follow through with the A play. And look who's there waiting patiently. One step ahead again. It's Fallen's AWP. You couldn't beat him when he was at the card. You couldn't find him with the Molotovs, with the flashes. Well, now you've got to rely on a run boost. Fallen. Yes. Oh, he hits them. Messi dead. And Fallen's going to close it out with a hat trick to put 14 on the board for Team Liquid.
What a over on the Fnatic side. Guy, dude. He even went back to Car after he found that opener, right? That looked unredeemable. He was aiming at Chiquino and he sees someone come through the smoke on that double zoom, immediately flicks back to take out Alex, walking through his own long smoke. It's over past toilets, fallen off guard like that. And Liquid 2 away. A keyboard broke over on the Fnatic side. Needs a quick switch, but I'm sure they're going to be plugging that right in, Harry. And maybe a bit of a breather for Fnatic, one they need. They can't communicate in it. But hold off, catch your breath. Liquid are catching up.
I mean, mate, think about how these last few rounds have gone for Liquid, and more specifically for Fallen, right? He wins that must-win 1v1 in a 4-sport round for Team Liquid. If you recall, they saved 3 in a run-up to that, right? They put everything on the line, forcing up around those saved guns. Fallen wins that 1v1. The next round, he gets a big multi-kill 3K in the A-bomb site to cement a 14th for Liquid and really start to put Fnatic on the back foot. Guy like Fallen's going to be fired up now. He's feeling it, right? You've got to not only try to pull this back, but in doing so, you've got to derail Fallen, one of the most resilient minds that CS has to offer. So your task's getting harder and harder with each bit of confidence that is built. And if this doesn't scream confident, he wanted to challenge mid just there. It was the AWP shot raining out that makes him reconsider. But with Fallen really finding himself, Liquid are right where they want to be.
Yeah, Fnatic leaning B, they haven't gone to this site recently. It's often in 3v3s where they fake it out and double back and walk into Fallen no matter where they go. This will be no exception. Fallen's in middle. Quick rotate available. Stewie also leaning. Alex is trapped back in mid. He's going to group with his team for the full execute. Naf is ready to uncrouch and pounce on this push. Stewie seen it all. Naf misses his shots and Chiquino takes him out with the AWP. If Stewie doesn't get a kill here, they might have to give it up. 4 on 5. Liquid locked out of the door, and they might just try and salvage their economy as Fnatic take a round.
Yeah, I envision Liquid might start to pad this B side with a little bit more to give responses outside of NAF, because this is how a lot of these rounds have gone whenever Fnatic have gone B, right? They get the one fight they have to win, no trades presented, nothing else comes through, and you're left saving. But this is where the mind games kind of start in that regard, right?
Yeah. You know, it's also the pace change as well, right? Like you think about how Liquid in the T side went for these, like eventually they figured out the way in was with the A splits, right? Through Long and Cat. And then after they started to lose some rounds, they just did what they've been doing best, but they did it out of spawn. That's exactly what Fnatic do. They just do it out of spawn. You know, Naf sees a B smoke, Stewie knows it's coming, but he doesn't think, oh, there's 4 guys running out of tunnels committing. And by the time you realize it's already too late. Chiquino, he's had a great game as well, right? Like a lot of flack has come from that opening game against Na'Vi. People were questioning him on the AWP. They hadn't seen him inside of Fnatic on this main AWP role. He has really lived up to the hype since that match, not just here in Pro League, but now in the playoffs when it matters. However, will it matter? Fnatic still trying to pull this one back. The mind game's beginning. Liquid don't bite. They leave Naf alone on B and they stack the A site.